Version 3.3 banners are officially confirmed, and today we're doing a full tier list. Who you should pull, who you should skip, and who most players will actually get value from. Also, I need to announce the winners from the previous giveaway. The 3 Lunite Subscription winners are on screen now. If you won, please reply so I can contact you and send the subscription. I've also posted the winners on my channel's community tab. Please reply there. And for everyone else, another giveaway is coming very soon. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, and when we hit that milestone, I'm giving away 10 Lunite subscriptions. So if you want to stay updated on the latest Wuthering Waves news and participate in the next giveaway, subscribe right now. We're almost there. Quick note before we start rating characters. This tier list is based on the average player, F2P or low spender with a decent existing roster. Not for hardcore whales who pull everything. Not for complete beginners with an empty account. For most people who have been playing for a while and want to know where their pulls actually give the most value. Keep that in mind as we go through each character. Phase 1 launches April 30th, and the headliner is Hiyuki, a new Glacio sword main DPS. Her kit is built around the chafe and negative status playstyle. She's a sustained on-field carry, not a quick-swap unit, so you need to commit to building a team around her. The Glacio DPS slot is genuinely underserved on a lot of accounts right now. If your current main carries are starting to feel outdated or you don't have a strong dedicated Glacio carry, Hiyuki fills that gap properly. She's not a meta-breaking monster that makes everything before her obsolete, but she's a solid long-term investment as a dedicated Glacio hypercarry with good endgame performance in Tower of Adversity and Whimpering Wastes. Hiyuki, S tier. Worth pulling if you need a new main DPS, especially in Glacio. Skip if your carry roster is already strong and you're saving for something specific. Now the rerun everyone should be paying attention to, Mornye, Fusion Broadblade, healer and support. Mornye is the standout pull of the entire 3.3 patch, and it's not particularly close. She's a universal healer with toon buffs that slot into an enormous variety of teams, fusion compositions with Amith, Linny, and others, but also teams that just need reliable healing and damage amplification from a support slot. If your current healing situation is average or worse, Mornye is an immediate and noticeable improvement. Her value doesn't depend on running a specific comp, she just makes teams better across the board. A lot of players missed her first run or didn't pull her because she didn't seem urgent at the time. 3.3 is the opportunity to fix that. For the average account, she provides more broad value than either of the new characters this patch. Mornye, S+ tier. Highest priority pull of the patch for most players. If you don't have her and you need better healing or support, this is not a banner to sleep on. The second rerun in Phase 1 is Iuno, Arrow Gauntlets. She's a versatile unit that can function as sub-DPS, main DPS, or a heavy attack buffer depending on how you build her. She's self-sufficient with shields and some healing, good AoE, and strong synergy with Augusta-style compositions. Here's the honest take on Iuno. She's genuinely good in optimized teams, and she offers flexibility that a lot of units don't. But she's not a universal fix for average accounts the way Mornye is. She shines when you build around her specifically. If you're running arrow or heavy attack-focused teams, she's a meaningful upgrade. If you're not, she's less impactful. Most average accounts can perform well without her. She's not a skip. She's a character you pull if you have a clear use case for her, not one you pull just because she's on the banner. Iuno A tier, pull if you run arrow or heavy attack teams and have the pulls to spare. Skip if you're trying to save for Phase 2 or future patches. Phase 2 starts May 21st. The new character here is Denia, Fusion Rectifier, sub-DPS, and support. Denia's value is specifically tied to fusion burst compositions. She adds off-field damage, improves rotation speed, and has strong synergy with Amith users in particular. If you're building a fusion team, and you've been waiting for a unit that makes that archetype run smoother, Denia is exactly that. The honest caveat is that she's niche. Outside of fusion, she doesn't offer much to the average roster. She's not the kind of character that makes everyone's account better. She's the kind that makes a specific team significantly better if you're already invested in that direction. Denia, A tier. Pull if fusion is your main focus. Safe skip if you're not building in that direction. The first Phase 2 rerun is Phrolova, Havoc Rectifier, flexible DPS, and sub-DPS with good AoE. Phrolova is still a reliable unit. She clears endgame content well with proper investment, and her AoE makes her comfortable in multi-enemy content. The issue for most average players is that Havoc is one of the more populated elements at this point in the game's life. If you've been playing for a while, you probably already have viable Havoc options. She's more of a comfort pick or a side grade than a must-have. That said, if you genuinely don't have a strong Havoc DPS and Phrolova appeals to you, she's a perfectly good pull. She's not a trap. She's just not urgent for most people. Phrolova, A tier, worth pulling if you have a genuine gap in Havoc DPS. Lower priority if your Havoc situation is already covered. The second Phase 2 rerun is Chisa, Havoc Broadblade, negative status support. Chisa is the most niche character on these banners. She's a dedicated support for negative status and chafe team compositions, which means she has real synergy with Hiyuki if you pull her in Phase 1 and want to build that specific team. In optimized comps, she does her job well. But for the average player, and that's who this tier list is for, Chisa is the most skippable unit in 3.3. Her value is tied to a specific archetype that not everyone is building. She also reruns relatively often compared to some other units, so there's less urgency around this specific opportunity. If you're saving pulls for future patches or the 3.4 collab, Chisa is the safest skip on these banners. Chisa, B tier. Only pull if you're specifically building a negative status or chafe team and you want to invest in that archetype. Otherwise, skip. Let me quickly run through the pull priority for each phase. Phase 1 priority. Mornye is the highest value pull of the entire patch. If you don't have her, she's the first target. Hiyuki is your second priority if you need a new Glacio DPS. Iuno is worth considering if arrow or heavy attack teams are your focus, but she's lower urgency than the other two. Phase 2 priority. Denia if you're building fusion around Ameth. Phrolova if you have a clear Havoc gap. Chisa is the most skippable character in 3.3 unless you specifically want the negative status archetype. 3.3 is the anniversary patch, so there will be extra free pulls and login rewards coming. But don't let the abundance of free currency tempt you into pulling characters you don't need. If your account already has strong main, DPS, and solid healing, you can honestly save most of your pulls for 3.4, which is shaping up to be one of the most stacked patches in the game's history. Weapon banners. Skip unless you already won the 50-50 on a character you're heavily investing in. Don't spend on weapons over characters at this stage. That's the full 3.3 tier list. Remember, if you won the giveaway, reply to my comment. And the next giveaway is at 1,000 subscribers. 10 Lunite subscriptions. So subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like if this was useful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.